Trump comes in, he rips it up, 60% enriched uranium
in
in
4
Iran.
weeks.
Well, he's gotten the price of gas up. He's put our troops at risk. 13 Americans
I don't know.
have lost
You
their
may
lives.
end up.
And we've now threatening to wipe out a nation, which makes us no different than every other country. What makes us different is when we go to war, we care about civilians. When we go to war, we care about.
Do you care about the 40,000 people who were killed in the street by this regime?
Yes, I called that out. I called that out when it was happening.
What does calling it out do?
Well, what calling it out does is that what we needed to do is to have a negotiation and tough diplomacy with sanctions to get them not to have nuclear weapons. But
you did all that. Then they killed 40,000 people.
But here's the thing. American people are tired of going and being the world's policeman and thinking that we're going to go take out every evil regime. We did that with Libya. It didn't work. We did that with Saddam Hussein. It didn't work. And guess who campaigned against that? Donald Trump. He said, I'm going to care about jobs here. I'm going to care about childcare here. I'm going to care about manufacturing here. And now he's asking for $400 billion to go fight a war in Iran. Now he's putting our troops at risk in Iran. You know what I want the American president to do? To care about our people, to care about our jobs, our childcare, our health care. He has, I don't know who's gotten in his head.
All right. Well, we have breaking news. We've had 4 weeks of this versus 47 years of what hasn't worked so far. And I appreciate the fact that you don't like the language around it. We're going to watch actual action and see what happens. We'll see what the outcome is. But I thank you very much for being here. It's an American debate that's clearly going on in the country. And I thank you for coming by.
Appreciate having me.
Thank you, Congressman. We do have some breaking news now that I want to get to you. We are reaching out to the White House for reaction to this new statement from Pakistan's prime minister. They've been involved in the efforts that the Trump administration has been very involved in trying to reach some diplomatic efforts here. So they are saying diplomatic efforts for peaceful settlement of the ongoing war in the Middle East are progressing steadily, strongly, and powerfully, with the potential to lead to substantial results in the near future to allow diplomacy to run its course. I earnestly request President Trump to extend the deadline for 2 weeks. Pakistan, in all sincerity, requests the Iranian brothers to open the Strait of Hormuz for a corresponding period of 2 weeks as a goodwill gesture. We also urge all warring parties to observe a ceasefire everywhere for 2 weeks to allow diplomacy to achieve conclusive termination of the war in the interest of the long-term peace and stability in the region. We know that Pakistan and Turkey and Egypt have all been part of these discussions that are ongoing. We know that a lot of the language that we've just been discussing is one of the tools that they are hoping will get to some sort of resolution that opens the strait. Whether or not the White House will agree to this 2-week cessation and a 2-week period to try to hammer this out, we're going to let you know. We're working on contacting sources there, and we'll see what the president has to say about this in our breaking news coverage. Continues after this.
Thought they were cooling off on the sidelines? Well, they're just getting warmed up.
Surprise! DirecTV.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want. You can have really relaxed, slow-paced stuff where you can take it easy. Or you could be on the edge of your seat, shaking, making split-second decisions. This is Eve. You know, it's a crazy universe where anything can happen. And however you want to do it, go for it.
Day 100 VA cash out loan. Get an average of $81,000 to pay off car loans, credit cards, and more. At New Day, we look at you, not just your credit score. Call 1-888-928-2089.
Have you ever stopped to think why the average car manufacturer warranty only gives you 3 years, 36,000 miles? It's simple, because cars break down. If they didn't, they would offer you a lifetime warranty, right? That's why there's CarShield. When a manufacturer's warranty expires, you could be stuck. But a plan from CarShield can protect your vehicle long after that warranty expires. Plus, it comes with unlimited miles and the price lock guarantee. So no matter how many claims you file, your rate will never go up as long as you cover your vehicle.
Affordable monthly plans protect up to 5,000 parts and systems and offer nationwide protection with a network of local and trusted technicians. Car repairs are at record highs. Call before a breakdown.
My radiator, my water pump, my thermostat. I love CarShield. It is my lifeline.
That vehicle you love sitting in your driveway will eventually break down. So why risk paying out of pocket for car repairs? All you have to do is call CarShield and let them help you pay for covered repairs. It's that simple.
Protect your vehicle from unexpected breakdowns with one simple call to CarShield. Get your free quote when you call right now. Call 800-531-1159.
Ever wonder why it's so hard to get an appointment with a mechanic? Well, over 7,800 vehicles break down every hour, costing Americans billions. That means shops are packed, and you could be next. Don't get stuck with the bill. Plus, with CarShield, you get nationwide 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, and rental car options with every plan.
CarShield helped me save over $1,200.
I've saved over $20,000.
If you're driving a car, truck, or SUV, there's a CarShield plan for you. Save time, save money, and protect what matters. Call CarShield today.
Call CarShield before it's too late and get a plan to protect yourself from the expensive cost of repairs. Call 800-531-1159. 800-531-1159.
We love being outside, but the sun makes our deck and patio too hot to enjoy.
Thanks to our new Sunsetter retractable awning, we can select full sun or instant shade.
It's 20 degrees cooler and you get protection from harmful rays and sun glare.
When you call, we'll rush you a special $350 discount certificate with your free awning idea kit. You'll get your manual sunsetter for less than $1,200. Add LED lighting for evening enjoyment. Life is better under a sunsetter.
Pump up the volume. Go ahead. Crank the volume. We got you. USPS has increased daily package processing capacity by 46% in the past 5 years. And with USPS Ground Advantage, your packages stay in our secure network, dock to door, nationwide. For full visibility, near real-time tracking, affordable pricing, for peace of mind. USPS Ground Advantage.
Amazing view of the Orion capsule as the Artemis 2 crew is on their way back home to Earth now after sharing new images for the first time of the far side of the moon. Look at this. Unbelievable. These beautiful, beautiful pictures. Jonathan Serry on this at Johnson Space Center for us in Houston. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi there, Martha. During the original Apollo moon missions, there was no space station, so the call between the Artemis spacecraft near the moon and the International Space Station that happened just moments ago was historic.
The thing that changed for me looking back at Earth was that I found myself noticing not only the beauty of the Earth, but how much blackness there was around it, and how it just made it even more special.
The Artemis 2 astronauts are sending back dramatic photos they shot during their lunar flyby, including images of the Earth setting below the surface of the moon and a sunset followed by a total solar eclipse that lasted about 53 minutes. A few hours after they emerged from the far side of the moon and reestablished contact with Earth, the astronauts received a call from President Trump, who invited them to visit in the Oval Office when they returned to Earth. Martha?
Incredible. These pictures are just breathtaking. Jonathan, thank you very much. Jonathan Serry in Houston. So join me in a moment. Britt Hume is here as our breaking coverage of President Trump's Iran ultimatum counts down in its final few hours. And we are learning that there are discussions going on that could potentially lead somewhere. We'll be right back.
The grind catches up with everyone, even me. That's why I trust Cunol Ultra High Absorption Turmeric to support my joint health. It's the #1 doctor-recommended form of turmeric. It helps you keep doing the things you love at every age. Cunol, the brand I trust.
it's worth it.
Life insurance is too important to put off another day. That's why SelectQuote makes getting coverage you need easy for less than $1 a day. Now get up to a $2 million policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage.
Visit or call SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
We pull people off the street and ask them about their hearts.
How's your heart?
My heart's pretty good.
You sure? How do you know? You're driving a car, you have the check engine light, but the heart doesn't have a hey, check heart sign.
Check your heart in just 30 seconds with Cardio Mobile and enjoy the convenience and reliability of a medical-grade EKG from anywhere. And you can get Cardio Mobile today for just $79 at Cardio.com or Amazon, so you can start taking charge of your heart health.
I want to show you something. Put both fingers right on those pads. There you go. In 30 seconds, we're going to have a medical-grade EKG reading. There it is. That is you.
Look at that.
Cardio Mobile is proven to detect up to 6 of the most common arrhythmias, including atrial fibrillation, which, when left untreated, can increase your risk of stroke by 5 times. Cardio Mobile has recorded over 300 million EKGs, and it's our most clinically validated personal EKG. Checking your heart anytime, anywhere has never been easier. Get Cardio Mobile today for just $79 at Cardio.com or Amazon.
Big odors, a big distraction? Try new Febreze Air Mist with 50% more odor fighters and 30% more fragrance to instantly restore just cleaned freshness. And when odors make their way into fabrics, grab Febreze Fabric Spray. It penetrates deep to fight tough odors, transforming them into scents you'll love. With Febreze Air and Fabric, your whole home is doggone fresh.
During my recovery, the only thing I could think about was getting back to playing. Boost gave me the fuel to get back on the stage. Music is life. A real comeback deserves a real boost.
Trump's deadline for Iran.
The clock's ticking.
Amid ongoing ceasefire negotiations, inside the mounting pressure facing Iranian leaders, tonight on Primetime.
Think you need a new roof? Think again. Most roofing companies only make money one way, by selling you a new roof. But what if your roof isn't worn out, just dried out? And with just a little love, you could put off an expensive roof replacement for up to 15 years, at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax is a scientifically engineered restoration formula that brings your shingle life back to new. Scan the code and get a free spring roof tune-up with your RoofMax restoration.
You've got a glow about you, inside and out. Show it to the world with just 10 minutes of self-care. Meet Omnilux Contour, an LED light therapy mask clinically proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles. Find out how you can improve your skin at OmniluxLED.com.
I've been saving for my first house for years, but to get the best mortgage rate, I want to keep improving my credit. That's why I love banking fee-free through Chime. Plus, with Chime Card, I can build credit safely, and since I direct deposit, I earn 1.5% cash back. I get personalized tips to help build my credit, and by paying my bills through Chime, I grow it even more. I'm up 80 points, and might even be a homeowner by the end of the year. Start banking fee-free at Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
So breaking right now, we do have a little bit of a response from the White House to the news that we just shared with you moments ago regarding the terms that have been laid out by Pakistan. They have been instrumental in these negotiations and discussions. Turkey, Egypt also involved in the back and forth between Iran and the United States. So the president's ultimatum, as we count down several hours away, are there meaningful negotiations going on is the question. And Caroline Levitt tells Fox, quote, the president has been made aware of the proposal and a response will come. So we'll wait for that. With that, we bring in Fox News chief political analyst, Brit Hume. Brit, great to have you here today. Thank you for joining me. I guess, your thoughts as these hours tick by, and we saw how forceful the president was on all of this yesterday. He certainly kicked up a lot of dust with people who are, already accusing him of war crimes. And now it sounds like you've got some negotiation at the table as well. What do you think?
Well, I think this recent news you just mentioned suggests one way this all could go forward, which would be some sign acceptable to the president that Iran wants to make a deal that would allow him to say, okay, well, we'll postpone this attack he's threatened, a little longer. That's one way. Otherwise, I think there's going to be a big attack tonight. I must say I was struck by Ro Khanna's excitement and fevered claims about this. This might be a good time, I think, to bear in mind what Selena Zito, our friend and colleague, said all those years ago when Trump was first running, that his supporters took him seriously, but not literally. And I think that would be a good way for Americans to look at him now. I don't think he's going to wipe out all the vestiges of all of Iranian civilization. I think he might hit some targets that are used by both military and civilians. But so that's kind of where I think we are. I don't think we know what's going to happen.
Yeah. You see it in a lot of the media, this discussion, like frenzy about war crimes. And you can almost sense, it seems like they hope in a way that there are war crimes so that they'll have something to work on in the future politically against the president. Rather than hoping for a good outcome in all of this. But here's Jake Sullivan, who everyone remembers from the Biden administration, with a similar tone to what we just heard from Congressman Khanna.
Would those be war crimes the United States was committing?
Yes, they would be, because this is punitive. He's not going after a power plant because it's a pure military target that's fueling the war machine against the United States. He's going against those power plants to punish Iran and punish the Iranian people, to try to make them basically quit.
Your reaction to that, Britt?
Well, we've heard from countless military experts who really are experts that, yes, there are circumstances under which attacking those targets would be war crimes. But if these are things that are being used in a meaningful way by the military, then they're legitimate targets and they are not war crimes. But you see what we're looking at here on Jake Sullivan and Ro Khanna is they're responding to a Democratic electorate that so loathes and despises President Trump that the only acceptable way for them to conduct themselves is in resistance and opposition in the strongest possible terms to everything he ever does. And that is, I think, where the opposition to him lies right now.
Britt, thank you very much. Britt Hume joining us this afternoon. And thank you, Britt, as always. So Jackie Heinrich has some news for us. Let's head over there. She just had a short phone call with President Trump. He declined to say how he's feeling about the talks with Iran. But he said that, I can't tell you right now, we're in heated negotiations. So that at least shows us that the president, as he always has been, is open to discussion on all of this. He wants that straight open. He says the regime has already changed to a certain extent. With that, we bring in Will Cain, who is on deck. That's what we call a tease. There's Will Cain, but you got to stick around until after we take a quick break to hear what Will thinks about all this. We'll be right back.
My life was constantly interrupted by pee breaks, day and night, until I found Eucoris In Control. It's an herbal supplement that reduces my urgency, leaks, and nighttime bathroom trips. I was at the end of my roll, but now I'm in control. Try today at Eucora.com.
Folks have been asking why beef from Riverbend Ranch is so tender and has a better flavor. Well, we start with using Black Angus beef, which is famous for its great flavor. And
yes, we went viral a month ago, but that's not why almost 1,000 teams are already paying us. Imagine, this is your team's Monday morning. You open Slack and pipelines updated. 3 prospects already researched. Last night's report already done. And your team, they didn't even have to ask. How? Victor lives in your Slack. It does the work your team is too busy to get to. And that's how we're a team of 20 shipping like 40.
They're getting sick, but waiting to see a doctor is often too late.
So the key is having medicines before you need them.
Yes, and it includes doctor-prescribed medicines to treat common and serious issues like generic Z-Pak, amoxicillin, antibiotics, antivirals for flu, pneumonia, strep, ear and sinus infections, UTIs, and more.
So it is like having an urgent care at home.
Exactly. No waiting, no pharmacy, no copays. You feel better faster and avoid serious complications and hospitalizations.
How do you know what to take?
Just match your symptoms to the doctor-written guide or schedule a quick telehealth call.
Great advice. I understand ordering is fast online, and we've put the website and $45 off code on the screen. Thank you, doctor.
Visit urgentcarekit.com/USA, promo code USA.
Silver is the precious metal of the future. Judge Napolitano here. Since 2020, the silver price has risen more than 350%. Why? In each of the last 4 years, rising demand for solar and electric vehicles alone has put silver supply into a deficit. But now there's another industry. AI, data centers, robots, and quantum computing could require so much silver that silver supplies could be obliterated.
Could silver rise another 350% within 5 years? Find out in this updated report, The AI Revolution.
I bought silver and my investment is up 390%. With billions being poured into AI, it makes sense to consider silver.
Call Lear Capital to get your free report, The AI Revolution, and see why it could bring record high silver. And with a qualified purchase, get up to $20,000 in bonus silver. Call 800-654-1010. 800-654-1010. 800-654-1010.
Do you have a life insurance policy you no longer need? Now you can sell your policy, even a term policy, for an immediate cash payment.
We thought we had planned carefully for our
$1,000 without finding 1-800. They tell us for
A 2-week extension of the deadline for Iran to cut a deal. A senior Iranian official telling Reuters that Tehran is positively reviewing this request for a 2-week ceasefire. With that, we bring in Will Cain, host of The Will Cain Show, starting moments from now. Will, your thoughts on this new development about a potential 2-week delay and perhaps some of the reaction that we've heard from Democrats to the president's deadline tonight?
Martha, I watched your debate with Congressman Ro Khanna, in which you did a very good job, as you always do. I appreciate you're one of the shows on this network that invites an alternative voice in and takes them on to the challenge. However, for him to say, but I don't forgive you, despite the compliment, I don't forgive you booking me after Brit Hume, because then he literally stole what I wanted to say. But I do think it's worth reiterating this, Martha, that Democrats are insistent on taking President Donald Trump literally, but not seriously. They want to take that tweet and suggest that we're on the verge of a nuclear war and the annihilation of 92 million people. But even if you take him literally, they're pretty poor at that, because nothing in that, a civilization dies, suggests he's about to wipe out 92 million people, as in the hyperbolic, fevered opinion of Ro Khanna. A civilization is a stage in human society. More than 50% of the Iranian people want to move on from their stage of civilization, away from the way of life that it is under the regime. Whatever happens tonight, whether or not it's a deal or an attack, it is in hopes, along with the Iranian people, that it is the end of this civilization in Iran.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did a podcast interview with Admiral Robert Harward, who I know you've spoken with. He was raised in Tehran, and he believes that this is unraveling, that they are getting towards the end of this regime, which I thought was really interesting. What are your thoughts on this potential 2-week delay for more talks?
2 weeks is a long time, honestly, Martha. That's the first thing that sticks out to me when I see this from the Pakistani negotiators, that 2 weeks is a long time. And I would be surprised if President Trump granted another 2 weeks. But it does suggest something that was much more serious than the literal interpretation of what Trump may do tonight. And that is that it was all in service of a deal at some point, that we are somewhere along the path of negotiating some type of end to this war. And President Trump, the maximalist that he is, will always exert that pressure, will always strong-arm them into the end of the deal. Khanna kept telling you it's not a real estate deal in New York. But we've seen President Trump pull this off successfully on multiple stages, whether or not it's Greenland or Venezuela. We've seen him play this same playbook out. Yeah. And it looks like that's where we're headed now.
And he knows how to keep people guessing and unsure about what he might do. His resolve has been quite firm on all of this. Well, we will stick around for the next hour and look forward to your show. Good to see you.
Thanks, Martha.
You bet.
Okay. All right. Live from Texas, this is The Will Cain Show, where we begin with a Fox News alert. The clock is ticking. We are 4 hours away from President Trump's 8 p.m. Eastern deadline. Reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face strikes on Iran's power plants and bridges. President Trump put it in even starker terms on Truth Social. He wrote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will." Meantime, Pakistan's prime minister requesting Trump extend the deadline for 2 weeks. Will he do it? White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt saying the president has been made aware of the proposal and a response will come. Those are the stakes today, 4 hours to this deadline. With internet access in Iran at around 1%, it's unclear how many Iranians even know this warning has been issued. Talks are underway, a senior U.S. official telling Fox the U.S. is in direct contact with Iran, but there's still no clear answer on whether a deal gets done in time. Quote, if we get lucky, we'll have something by the end of the day. But while those talks continue, the military pressure is building. Today, the U.S. struck more than 50 targets on Karg Island, the heart of Iran's oil export system. Oil prices jumping 3% after the strikes. Those prices have come back down. Karg is small, less than half the size of Manhattan, but it moves the vast majority of Iran's oil out to the world. Nearly 950 million barrels a year, making it one of the most important pieces of Iran's economy. Israel is also stepping up its campaign, targeting bridges and rail lines across Iran as the clock winds down. Fox News senior correspondent Jackie Heinrich just spoke with President Trump on the phone. And Jackie, what did you learn?
Well, I asked the president how he's feeling about these negotiations with that deadline just 4 hours away. And he said, I really can't tell you how we're feeling right now because we're in the middle of heated negotiations. I said, so the conversation is happening then? He said, yes, of course. Why wouldn't they be talking, given the circumstances, basically? I asked him his view on this request from Pakistan's prime minister for
Are you looking to establish your business using an address other than your home? Well, at iPostal One, we can help with that. You took the leap and started your own company. Great. But you don't want to use your home address to register your business. It's unprofessional and unsafe. But you already know that. At iPostal One, you can get a real physical street address. Choose an address from thousands in our network and immediately upgrade your brand image and protect your privacy. Unlike a P.O. box, you can also use it with your business registration. We receive your mail and packages, and all you have to do is view and manage them with our app or online. It's as easy as that. Upgrade your business image and mail experience today with a digital mailbox from iPostal1.com.
Outlet where he commented on what Iran has been doing in the interim, instructing civilians, women, children to line up in human chains outside of those power plants that would be targeted if all hell breaks loose tonight. He called that totally illegal. Well,
okay. Thank you for that update, Jackie.
Thanks.
All right, Fox News senior correspondent Mike Tobin is live now in Tel Aviv with the latest there. Mike.
And obviously, Will, the dynamic has changed here in the last few hours with a possible off-ramp presenting itself through this proposal from Pakistan's prime minister to extend the deadline by 2 weeks in exchange for Iran opening the Strait of Hormuz for 2 weeks. The White House, as you hear, knows that the president is aware of this, and the White House says that a response will come. But absent a deal, Iran has encouraged civilians to head to power plants and bridges, creating human shields for the infrastructure. One youth leader said they were there to demonstrate that targeting civilian infrastructure is a war crime. President Trump, throughout this, has promised to push ahead.
Do I want to destroy their infrastructure? No. It will take them 100 years to rebuild. Right now, if we left today, it would take them 20 years to rebuild their country, and it would never be as good as it was. And the only way they're going to be able to rebuild their country is to utilize the genius of the United States of America.
Israel got an early start striking at bridges. The IDF says they hit 8 bridges for rail lines used by the Revolutionary Guard and claim the Guard used those lines to transfer combatants, weapons, raw materials, which would be used to build weapons. In the Iranian town of Shiraz, Israel also claims to have hit central production site for sonar and underwater detection systems that track submarines, vessels, divers, and underwater missiles. In addition, in the town of Karaj, Israel says their jets hit a site that makes cruise missiles and air defense systems. Now, since this proposal was posted to X by the Pakistani prime minister, the only thing that we have heard from the Israelis is they anticipate more missile fire tonight. Will, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mike Tobin. President Trump's proposed strikes would hit Iran where it hurts. U.S. and Israeli strikes have already, as you heard, targeted key infrastructure, including a major bridge before it opened. But it's about more than just physical damage. Many of these targets, especially power plants, supply electricity across the region, which would mean widespread power outages, disrupted transportation, and a real strain on the regime's ability to maintain its grip. Joining me now, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran and former CIA contractor, Mike Glover. Mike, I'd love to start with this. The left, as we just heard in the last hour, is suggesting that any strike on power plants or bridges would be the commission of a war crime. As my understanding, if these pieces of infrastructure are used in any way to aid the military effort of Iran, they are legitimate targets.
Yeah, Will, thanks for having me. You're correct. Article 52 says attacks shall be limited strictly to military objectives. Well, if that bridge is dual purpose, if a civilian drives over it and then next a 5-ton with Iranian troops from the IRGC drives over it, it's a fair target. We're not under posse comitatus in Iran. They are a militarized state, and it is completely immersed in the civilian population. So any target-based strike is going to have a dual purpose, which means it would not be a war crime.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was asked today, a little bit earlier,